Hey everyone, Genome Gaming here. Sorry about the long pause. I was taking a slight recharge break, and I'm still having serious issues with OBS. I have no idea what the problem is. Maybe I can reach out to tech support if they even have any for the service and figure out what's going on, because I just tried doing a live upload, and it just was completely distorting my voice again. Don't know. Whatever the case may be. So I'm going to go ahead and just do like a no faces kind of little video today, but you don't need to see my face anyway to kind of get the gist of what's going on. So yeah, a lot's been going on with the account. I'm now at level 55. Once again, still 100% free to play, and got some new people I've opened. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, we got okay, Cyclops event, cool. Some new stuff have been opened up for me, like horse stature is unlocked and all that, and actually I think I unlocked it. Let's check. But the campaign there, I'm most of the way through the medium stature missions, but anyway, those are just easy ways. Oh, I didn't unlock her, did I? Well, how about that? No, I didn't. Well, it's not important. I can't really do anything with her anyway, so more thing for the main account. But anyway, yeah, so that was going on. I opened up War, but I just switched alliances last night, so I finally got out of the new player alliance. It was like a middle ground new player alliance when they actually did stuff, but I just needed more, and I got actually an invite from a much higher level alliance, and they just sent it to me, so cool. So I joined that, so I'll be raiding and stuff with them tomorrow when I unlocked. But yeah, so basically all the game modes are now open for me, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, man, this is like my new favorite arena team for what my roster is. But anyway, so let's talk a little bit about what's changed in the roster and recommendations that I have for you. And some of my advice might have changed slightly from some of my initial videos even. I do recommend you find a plan and stick with it, but you also have to be kind of flexible, right? So like my initial plan coming in for this account was to go hard for basically Star-Lord, Invisible Woman, and Shuri. I'm still going to do that, but I'm easing off on the Guardians. Now, they are a pretty good early team and pretty decent mid-level team. I've talked about them before in the past, but honestly, they're nothing special, man, and you won't get a ton of use after that out of them. So I'm not going to like advocate going for them too hard and by if I mean you get lucky on some drops. Now, I got really lucky. I think I was in the last video I talked about it. I actually got a Zemo 100 shard drop out of a Mega Orb. I don't even have him on my main account. So maybe the best, absolutely best character I could have gotten was Zemo because of all the damage he does against NPCs, or specifically minions. But he's just super strong, and I've just been pumping gear and levels into him every chance I get, even more than Punisher, right? And also got Hela. So this is really changing how I'm going to be building. Now, this is not necessarily how it's going to work for you. Most people won't get those kind of drops, you know. But I think I've gotten a total of, what, 3... I think I've gotten 3 Mega Orbs so far, just from, you know, rewards and all that, and accumulating them over time. So that's a pretty good ratio for just 3 orbs. But anyway, so I am still going to go for Star-Lord somewhat. Like, I'm still going to be farming Rocket just a little bit out of the raid store, because there's not too much else I got to really go for in there. But really now the focus is on Invisible Woman and Shuri, and once I get both those unlocked, which I should actually next time they pop around, because I'm really doing pretty well in Sinister 6. Let's get those guys pulled up. I don't really need a team, you know what I mean? Because those two will basically act like it. I'll have the healing and defense with Shuri, and especially if I have Sue too, so then you got tons of sustain and mitigation just between those two. So then you can really get a little more flexible with the teams you want to use. So now I'm not really having to worry so much about going for Guardians, because having basically 2 of those characters on the team is really going to up what you can do. But see, I've already got Shocker at 4 stars. Rhino's fixing to turn to 5, so I'm about done working on him. Blitzdor, he's the easiest farmer, of course. Green Goblin, I got both of his nodes open now. So I'm going to start really cranking on him to get going. I got his Nexus going and that. So he's a little behind the horn right now for whatever reason, because he only had 1 node before. But so working on him. Vulture, probably another 2 weeks or so, I'll have him at 5 stars, and I can stop on him. I'm just going for 5 stars on Shuri and Invisible Woman. Like on my other account, I go for 7 stars for every legendary. In fact, I'll be getting 7 stars on Black Bolt Monday or Tuesday, whenever his event drops. And then same with Maw when that rolls around. I've got all those. It's just waiting in the wings for it to come around. But on this count, I'm just going to go for 5. That's all I'm going to need. I'm not going to obsess about it because I don't have a lot of red stars anyway. I am saving up my red star orbs, though, just for either new kickers that come around or whatever. But, just for there's actually been talk of an orb event coming around in December or so. So who knows? Just rumor mill, but maybe not. And Mysterio is still pretty behind. I may actually switch out of Rocket and start dumping more, because he's also in the raid store, dumping raid credits into him. I've also been refreshing his node every day, but it seems his drops are really stingy compared to some of the others. So he and Green Goblin are a little bit far behind, but it is what it is. I'll keep working on them, and then I'll have both those guys. But basically, I should be ready, hopefully, for Shuri and Invisible Woman next time, and that's going to really change things. Like I said, it just allows you so much freedom. I unlocked Merc Lieutenant the other day, and I love Merc Lieutenant as a minion type character, but he's just a great addition to almost any team. But unfortunately, I'm a little low on gold right now and gear, so I can't really work on him too hard. I also unlocked X-23. I can't remember if I pulled her out of an orb. I think I pulled her out of a Mega Orb as well. And I've also, I think, spent some raid credits getting her, whatever. Because I'll say this, I am probably going to start collecting X-Force here eventually, because I'm going to be able to get Doc Ock. Because I'm working on Sinister Six so hard. But we'll see. That's a maybe. But once again, that's way down the road. But yeah, so I've been using her and gearing her up a bit. Because she's not too bad, especially, once again, as a minion killer. Her and Zemo together, and then Punisher, oh my gosh. They're a wrecking crew of minions. And then Hela's no slouch either, so... yeah, it's been pretty interesting. So here now, I'm going to talk about some players that I've started to leave behind. And I was talking before in a previous video about characters I think you should be working on, and the caveat being you should work on them to a point, right? Now, Crossbones, I've stopped pretty much using him in villains. I'm just now using Sinister Six. But he's really good up till about level 40 or 45 or so. His ultimate is just crushing against the computer. But now it's starting to taper off without me dumping more resources into him. So no more on that. I will be working on Merc Rygar eventually, especially if I start working on Merc Lieutenant, because he could just be a plug-and-play tank on whatever team I decide to put him on. So he'll be pretty good. Same with Cap. Cap has a little more use because of the global stuff. I can't remember if Merc Rygar's global too. No, city. So I may go back to working on him. I also unlocked Falcon, by the way. So dumped a little bit in him because it's been important on the stature event to have like aspiring character. He's an aspiring character, and then he's also used on global stuff too. So like I'm kind of stuck on some of the ISO missions that require global. I don't have a whole lot of roster, so I'm kind of pumping a little bit into him too. But so Cap and Falcon and Mercenary Rygar will probably get some more attention in the future. Drax, since I am opting pretty much out, I think, of Guardians at this point, I just collect them naturally. I'm probably not going to put anything else into him. He's a really good early game tank, and I do recommend him. I would say that Cap and Mercenary Rygar are much more versatile and really much more useful and survivable than Drax. Until you really pump a lot of gear and get Drax's health up there, he's not all that durable, and he doesn't have much of mitigation outside of his special, which he only gets to use once a battle anyway. So, basically, I also unlocked Captain Marvel. I think it was in the daily rewards or whatever, but I've entertained the idea. I hate the character, though, so much, but I've entertained the idea of actually leveling her up, because she is pretty strong, but she's not really needed for anything right now, and... I don't know. We'll see. I may work on her, but like I said, I don't like the character at all. So I usually don't let that tinge my outlook on things, but I don't like her, so whatever. Thor is really good. If I decide to work on Captain America some more, I will work on him some more. But for now, I don't really need any other mediocre damage dealers. You know what I mean? He's only really good on teams that he gets synergy with, especially with his passive. His passive is what makes him good on those teams, really. And actually, I've ran into some nightmare scenarios with people like stacking up on Captain America and Hulk. Man, this guy's passive will just keep going off, man. If you running into those taunts, it's pretty dangerous. So, but yeah, basically all these guys down here I'm not really working on at all. And I'm just gonna kind of leave them there. There's nothing I really unlocked here that I really want. And I would say just I'll probably work on Sif some, but I gotta pull some more shards. I'm gonna hope for get Black Bolt as well eventually, but still a little bit ways down the road. Yeah, but that's pretty much it on the video, or not on the video, but on the roster right now. So that's what's going on. It's still a hodgepodge. When you're like free to play, you get used to being in a hodgepodge situation. But really, the one goal that I have right now is Sinister Six. I live, eat, sleep, and breathe in a Sinister Six, and it's like once again, they're not a great team. The old school one is not that good a team. They don't have enough burst. They have no sustain. The defensive tools are pretty lacking, even though Rhino's not too bad. But he doesn't have much mitigation. He just has a high health pool. So, yeah, it's a little bit rough to work around him. So lately I've been using mostly just Shocker and Rhino on teams like with Punisher, Baron Zemo, and X-23, you know. Or Hela. Usually Hela, actually, but she's a little better. So it's just been kind of hodgepodge, and once I actually get Merc Lieutenant up for modes that, you know, you don't need a lot of synergy, or you don't need to have any specific tags, I'll probably be sticking him up in this team and completely omitting Rhino and Shocker. But anyway, it's still going hard for Shocker, 5 stars. Commit to it. Go to a play and commit to it. So I didn't have to really change any plans for Guardians, because I always planned on going for Shuri and Invisible Woman 2 at the same time. It's just that I'm not going to sweat go after Guardians. That means I don't have to put arena credits into Drax. Here, let me go ahead and get into Guardians here. I'm not going to bother showing the Ravagers, because I don't recommend, other than maybe Ravager Boomer, because you can get them with Blitz credits, and those are super easy to get. I really don't recommend any of the Ravagers. So in order to unlock Star-Lord, of course, you need these guys. I am working on Groot so much. I got his node unlocked. It's a long, long haul, though, for Groot, and halfway to Rocket Raccoon just unlocked, so it's gonna be a while yet, and I haven't even bothered with Gamora. So it's an expensive plan for some benefits just aren't all that great, you know. Mantis is just kind of a lackluster healer, and Groot's a decent character, but it's kind of odd, and you know, the game's left all these guys behind. I have Rocket at tier 13 on my old account. I used to use him for DD2, you know. But he's not good anymore. I use him for like one node in U7 just in case he has to take some, you know, let him fire up his ultimate once and then maybe die. And then he served his purpose. But so I don't really use any of these guys, including Star-Lord, in like U7 or whatever. So even maybe U6. So like I said, while I do plan on unlocking Star-Lord, I'm not going to worry about it too much. And heck, by the time I can unlock him, there'll probably be another legendary that I won't be able to get anyway. But that's beside the point. So that's where it stands right now. Good things happening with the account, and if you have any questions or anything you want me to go over specifically, just let me know in the comments below, and I will try to answer them in a forthwith manner. Like I said, just some of the most important things are beware the trap characters. Right now, defenders are kind of a trap character for most beginners, right? Because that's a lot of tutorials tell you to use them, even though almost none of the YouTubers nowadays tell you to use them. But I mean, maybe you might find an old guide that says defenders are good. Please don't bother with defenders. And right now they have an event going on, the Block Party event, get catalysts and all that, and that's good. But join an alliance, and you'll get a lot of that stuff, and you won't need this event especially. And if you're gonna do city, I mean, there's just better characters. So don't. I haven't touched Luke Cage in a lot of levels, right? 20 levels almost. Not gonna touch him anymore. Trap characters. Deadpool is only really good if you're going to do X-Force, and he's not what makes that team good, right? And that's only used in war. It's not used anywhere else, really. Maybe some early arena, but so don't fall into the trap. I just leveled him where I needed to get passed up, and then I left him behind. Hulk is good, but you need to have a rest of an Avengers team. And I don't really have that great of Avengers right now. Like, let's see, I forget where I'm at. Well, I do have 5 Avengers, but I had to start leveling them all up, and it's not really the best ones. This is mostly good, though. You do want Black Widow open right now because of her interactions with Hawkeye. But I hate dumping like resources into Hawkeye because he's just not that good, right? But the rest of these guys are pretty fine. Just no heal, so there's not very much sustain here. So that is an option too. But like I said, Hulk is just, you gotta be careful. You just don't really need him for much, right? So unless you have a team specifically you want to use him with, I wouldn't put too much into him. Spider-Man, left him behind. He's not used anywhere in the end game. Maybe on a brawler team if you have a built-up one, whatever, but he's just super fragile. He doesn't do much damage. His utility is weak for the most part, and there's just no point in him. So I know a lot of people like Spider-Man and they want to build him up, but my advice to you is don't bother, you know. And like I said, there's some, you know what's funny is I pulled 5 reds out of a regular red star. I got 5 reds on Winter Soldier, so I'm actually going to, I unlocked him, and I'll level him a little bit, just because red stars are very powerful, especially in versus the computer, so the character is not good, though. So don't let, if you start seeing his ranks climb up, it's not because he's a good character or anything. It's just because of the red star pull I got. And you have to be flexible. You have to be ready for if you get lucky in red star pulls. Let's do a real quick thing. I don't even know what I have. I usually don't look at this, but let's see what I got for red stars. Who's got the highest red stars here? So, yeah, a lot of 2s. Oh, of course, 3. You know, I think you get that automatically, 3. 5, yeah. Lots of 2s. Lots of 2s. So I don't got a lot of good red stars. But, so you might be lucky and grab, you know, 5 or 6 red stars on a somewhat decent or even a mediocre character, and it can be good for you against things like the computer. But remember, don't expect those characters just because you have, say, a 6 red star or even 7 red star Elektra. Don't expect her to be good in the end game. She's not going to be. Even with all those boosts, she's not going to be good. So, once again, you see I left her behind too at 30. So all these guys you see down here, Cable might get eventually worked on just because of his X-Force stuff, and Sif, of course. Most of these guys that you see down here are not going to rise any higher than this. Because you don't, and I made this huge mistake on my main account, right? Is you see these characters, you see these are green, you want to keep hitting buttons and gearing them up just a little bit to have a nice wide roster. Well, these guys aren't going to do anything for you. It's just not worth it, man. So just be smart with what resources you have, especially as a free-to-play player. And you'll go much farther in this game. I am so far ahead of where I was on my main account when I first started, right? I played that game for like a year, I think, before I got my first legendary. Because I was just all over the place with it, you know, and I was working on characters that I wanted to work on, and, you know, looking at very poor synergies and thinking they were worth building upon. Ant-Man, Wasp, you know, that kind of thing. You know, Vision and Scarlet Witch. And those characters aren't used for anything. Well, now the Pimtech is, but even that's kind of up in the air, whether they're going to be good or not in DD4. So, yeah, just be flexible. Be ready to change your strategy if you need to, but always try to remember to focus on your plan. Because if you went into this game planning on getting Invisible Woman and Shuri quickly, and you get your Sinister Six wrap or a Mine R, and then something new and shiny comes along, and you quit working on those guys, you're just playing catch up the whole time. You got to commit to it and keep going with it. My main account, I have all the legendaries except for Doc Ock. They're going to be all at 7 stars and really high reds too. And next time Doc Ock comes around, I'm going to have them now. Just, I don't know, I focus in pretty well on that sort of thing, and then you can forget about it. You don't have to worry about it anymore except for gear upgrades. So that's where it's at. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and hopefully some of this stuff is helpful for you. But yeah, just stick to your plan, pool your resources, use them smartly and intelligently. No, that didn't sound very good. And remember, gold is precious. You're always going to need gold, so don't waste them on certain things. Okay, and here's one more thing before I get out of here. Wolverine here. See how it says rank up? I don't even have enough gold to do it right now because I spent like 500 gold, 1,000 gold earlier. But there's no reason to do it. I have on my main account like 20, I think, 10 or 20 characters that have this little, oh, you can upgrade him. Why waste the gold? If you're not going to use them for anything, especially if it's not going to help you that much, because rank ups don't help you that much for the most part, don't spend the gold. Use it on gear. Use it on rank or leveling up your character. That's much more important, right? So don't fall into the gold traps, and you know, pretend it's real gold and use it sparingly. So anyway, hopefully this helped, and until next time, this is Genome Gaming out.